Hi, can you tell us your name and what symptoms you were having before you started care?
Sure, my name is Terry, and one of the biggest symptoms that I was having, I've been dealing with hormone and thyroid issues for a while and had been diagnosed as having hypothyroidism. And I was on Synthroid, only because Armour went away, long story. But at any rate, I was tired all the time. I was more tired when I woke up in the morning than when I went to bed. I was working out, and I was coming home from working out and taking a nap. I didn't feel energized for my workouts at all. And that was kind of the biggest thing that was getting to me. But in addition to that, it was weight gain. Even though I was working out and eating pretty good, I was putting weight on, thinning hair, itchy skin, but the biggest thing for me, the most frustrating, was I was just so sick of being tired and felt like there was no solution for it, and I felt kind of like I was up against a brick wall.
How would you say you're feeling now since we've started working on your thyroid condition?
Much better. Definitely much better. First of all, I've eaten well before, but there's something about getting that diagnosis of you definitely have Hashimoto's that it was like, okay, that's it. I can't have gluten. And so without eating the gluten and staying away from a lot of those things, it's been 6 weeks about now that I've been off the gluten, and I just am feeling the last couple of weeks like I'm not as tired anymore. I have my energy back again, which is a huge thing for me. I'm working out and feeling wide awake when I'm finished, feeling good about doing it. Just a lot more energy to do everything else. And haven't lost any weight yet, but I'm hoping that that's going to come. I was having a lot of headaches. I didn't mention that before, and I really it's getting better. I'm not having the headaches that I was having, so losing the fatigue, big for me.
And has the diet been hard for you to manage so far? Or?
Part of it's that I've done it before, and the first 3 weeks are the hardest because it's habit, and you're eating these things that you're just eating them because they taste good. And even though I don't feel good after I eat them, because I would feel bloated, I would feel indigestion, I would have a lot of symptoms from eating that kind of food, I just wasn't putting it with what the issues were. So knowing that this is a health condition that could result in a lot of more serious things even than what this feels like to me right now is very much an inspiration. So yeah, it was hard at first. I also don't eat the gluten cookies, the gluten cake, gluten-free, all the things that they've got out there, because I find that I react a little bit to those too.
Yeah.
But I'm really good with the protein and the vegetables and fruit. I just feel so much better.
Excellent.
Yeah, I really do.
Tell us a little bit about how you did with the immune challenge.
Oh God, it was just terrible. Okay, so he has me, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I have like 2-3 weeks of gluten-free, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see a difference, and let's do this immune challenge. So I take the supplement for the TH1, I think it is.
Yeah, we did TH1 first. Yeah.
And it was terrible. It was as though I had been eating gluten the whole time. And I had a migraine headache, I was bloated, I felt gigantic, I was tired again. It really threw me off, and I was shocked at the symptoms. As a matter of fact, it took almost 2 weeks after we stopped that for me to then start to feel good enough to then go to the second, I don't know what you call it, the TH2.
TH2 challenge,
and I really felt a difference, but it really hit me hard. It knocked me out.
The TH1.
The TH1 knocked me out, yeah.
And now you've been on the TH2 challenge for a couple weeks now?
Yeah, because I've gone through a lot of it, but and it's interesting because when I took the TH2, I didn't necessarily feel like, wow, I feel great, this is wonderful. But I felt so awful from the TH1 that I just felt really I feel normal. I feel really balanced with it. So that's the big difference I noticed. I don't notice a huge upswing, but I do feel so balanced, which I haven't felt in a long time.
It's got you back, now that you've been on TH2 for a couple weeks, Now you kind of feel like you're back to where
Definitely.
you were doing before.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Terry. Anything else that you'd like to mention?
Do you know, I mean, if anything, I think probably the hardest part for people is, and for me too, was just committing to the diet and not cheating. And that was the difference in the past. I could eat like this, but I'd be like, oh, I can have dessert now because I've gone for a couple weeks without this or without that, or, you know, and I'd then immediately go back to kind of where I was. So I just, if you can just hang on and really follow the protocol, the way you feel far exceeds the stress or the, you know, how hard it is. So.
Last thing, what would you tell somebody who's thinking about doing the program but's maybe not sure?
Well, I think one thing that probably one of the first thing that comes to mind is, oh my gosh, this is a huge investment. It's an investment financially, it's an investment personally, time-wise, and for the way that, for changing your lifestyle, because, I mean, everything does change. It's harder to go to restaurants, you have to really be careful about what you're ordering, it's harder, you have to think about what you're picking out in the grocery store, so you have to become conscious of what you're doing in your daily life. But all of that investment is worth not being tired and having more energy to live life. Way worth it. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
You're
Terry.
welcome.
I appreciate it.